Good evening, everyone, and welcome to what should be Week 8 of the Midwest F1 season, and it's taking place in the heart of the Ardennes Forest at the infamous Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Division 1 looks to tame the 7-kilometer circuit and its 19 corners. The two DRS zones heading into La Source and then down the Camel Straight should amount to many overtakes, and I say should be round 8, because it's not. We were supposed to have a Midwest F1 sprint last week at both Portimao and Coda, but the F1 2021 servers were down, so we're skipping it outright. And good riddance. I hate Portimao, and I'm not the biggest fan of Coda either. So, with that in mind, we are here at Spa for what is actually race 6 of the Midwest F1 season. We are truthfully into the business end of this season now, and it only gets more difficult from here on out. We're at Spa now for what could be a very, very pivotal round in the championship. As we just look and see, what else we're up to here these next couple weeks of the schedule, if I can find it. I should know this offhand, but yet again, silly me being unprepared. So, this week, Spa, obviously. Next week we go off to Canada. That's the first time we've raced at that track in, I believe, 2 seasons, really. Should be interesting here. So far, the driver's slow to get out of the garage here. It looks like a Mercedes of GSR Ryan Rods, who actually won the F2 race this past Tuesday at Hungary. Pretty much led from start to finish, qualified on pole as well. And after that, we go to China and Saudi Arabia for the second of the Midwest F1 sprint. And then we round it out at Silverstone. That's an interesting one there. That's an interesting track to round things out at, but the Mercedes of Ryan Rods out on track. It looks like who's going to be actually out on track? Murphy is first up. So a couple neat little Midwest F1 facts for you here. So Kate Thomas and Scornsy each hold 1 win apiece here in Division 1. Nobody else has won at this track is currently active in Midwest F1. T. Rose currently holds the fastest in-race lap here at this track with a 1:43.694. And you'd think that'd be a good sign for the Alfa Romeo team. Well, an interesting little tidbit here. T. Rose's teammate, Murphy has actually never, in his 4 seasons along with us here in the Midwest F1 League, has never completed a race at Spa. He's very much the Charles Leclerc of what is, the Charles Leclerc with Monaco, as he is here in Spa. So, should be interesting for him. I can guarantee you he's been burning the midnight oil, or at least midday oil, because who's up playing this game past 12 o'clock? Definitely not me. But anyway, so he's going to lead us here to our first timed lap. Should be interesting to see what happens here. It looks like the majority of the field, in fact, most everyone aside from T. Rose, Edgar, Edwin, and Mitch Burns, all on the soft compound tires, which you would typically expect. But anyways, first up, starting his lap here, is EJ Murphy all the way up to 8th gear and then back down to 2nd as you head into La Source. Definitely want to take up as much of the curb on in the apex as you can. Hit the gas on exits to catch the wheel spin out correctly. We do have a car that's going off for Red Bull or something in through Radion, actually, up the hill. Try not to let off, and he's actually done in his lap. Dace in behind him. Kept going along with him. You saw him get a little bit squirrely there, going up through Eau Rouge there, into the Camel Straight, flat out through here, and then I believe you're going to go from 8th down to 5th, going through Lacombe here. Be careful not to mess with too much of the curve on the inside or the outside as you head into Malmedy now and down into Brussels. This, in my opinion, one of the hardest corners on track, considering that you have to hit the apex perfectly and you really have to just play with the throttle as much as you can through the corner into No Name and then down towards Puhan. Now, this is a very tricky braking zone to get correctly. Not only that, but you can definitely get caught up on track limits going through the corner. I think he's held on to it quite nicely there, which he has, down into Le Fond, which I believe is how you I believe that's how you pronounce it. Excuse my French if it's terrible. Pretty straightforward through here, just down through the gears a slight bit into Campus, and then I believe that's Paul Frere, something like that. Careful with track limits here on exit. He is actually getting a great tow from Murphy now as he heads towards Blanchimont here. Flat out through here. Definitely want to hit the apex correctly. Actually want to be careful of the curb when you're on slightly worn down tires. And then finally into the final chicane here. Down into second. Careful of the oversteer on exit of the corner. That will kill you if you don't get it correctly. DRS open, and it is a 1:42.6 for Dace. That is a really solid lap, if I say so myself. Mitch Burns, next in behind, goes a second and a half slower, and then GSR Ryan Rod's less than 4/100ths of a second behind after setting purple sector 3. Nicely done from him. Purple sector 2 then for Nicky 64. GSR Edwin's actually gone off. Can we perhaps have a look at what's happened there? Here he is. This is going through whatever corner this is. Yeah, so he's taken the curb with him. He's gone to the inside wall. That's going through Lacombe there. Not necessarily what you want to see. Nicky 64 to the line now. What's he got in store? It's going to be a good lap, this. And, well, I may have spoken too soon. P14 for Nicky 64 there. Looked a good one. Timing charts would disagree. Sometimes they often do. So here comes Scornsy. Around the final couple corners now. To the DRS, across the line he goes. Text-to-speech actually going provisional pole. Scornsy gets there, and he's down by less than 5/100ths of a second, but text-to-speech, what a lap he's put in for that Red Bull team, a 1:42.2. That is really solid. That puts Scornsy behind by 5/100ths of a second, and Dace only 4/1000ths of a second off P2. Very close margins here within the top 2 rows. Anything here for the top 5, maybe the top 10. Aero Racing Design turning the Williams into a lawnmower. I bet you that's the, realistically, that's what it was anyways in 2020, but not the point. Oh, Nicky 64's had a bit of an off there, hasn't he? Yeah, he very much has. Nicky 64's gone around. So at the end of the qualifying session here, Scornsy takes pole position in a crucial race for the championship. Dace in second, Text-to-Speech third, Ryan Rod's fourth, T-Rose in fifth, Mitch Burns sixth, Hank Thomas seventh, Aero Racing Design in eighth, Yomir in ninth, Edgar 10th, 11th is Tiger NASCAR, 12th Impossible Bacon, 13th Elma Jacko, 14th is Will Ans, and I believe after that, 15th Smith Pell, 16th Murphy-Selly, 17th Super, 18th Nicky 64, and rounding out the field P19. GSR Edwin 3. Hopefully, a very good race, not in any sort of trouble via weather, although I haven't heard anything otherwise. So, hopefully, we're in for a clear race. Here we are here, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are turning on. We do have 4 and then 5 red lights here in Spa, and they are off. And it looks like, for the moment, Scornsy has gotten the better start of him on the front row. Dace was not able to catch up to him there. It looks like towards the back, we definitely have a lot of cars being shuffled about. But for the most part, everyone's got around okay, except for Yolmir, who's gone around, and that is also the AlphaTauri of Super as well. Contact certainly made off the start as they head up through Eau Rouge. Who is going to be able to get off to the best start here? And it looks like Text-to-Speech still hunting down the rest of the grid here. However, it looks like T-Rose looking to the inside of Ryan Rod's as they head towards, that is Lacombe there. Can he potentially find anything? And he doesn't. He wanted the move for the longest time, doesn't get it. Here now, Elma Jacko and Impossible Bacon side by side. Contact was made through the for the first section of that corner. And it looks like for now, it's still side by side as they head towards Brussels. A little bit of wheel contact being made, but it's still side by side between the two as they head into no name. Who's going to come out with it here? And it looks like Impossible Bacon has it for the moment. GSR Edwin and Murphy-Selly back there battling along with themselves as well. And it looks like for now everything has calmed down. Meanwhile, though, however, Super and Yolmir, I'm not sure what happened to them off the start. However, contact was made and around they went. Not the most ideal start there for either the AlphaTauri or Mercedes team. Ryan Rod's, I don't think, was able to improve. T-Rose wasn't able to improve. Granted, he gave it his best shot, but I'm just not sure that he's been able to get away from it here. Aero Racing Design, he wants on to Hank Thomas here potentially as they head towards the end of the first lap. Position change now. Everybody in the top 8 has stayed the same. The biggest mover in the positive direction being that of GSR Edwin up 5. Will Ans up 4. Hank Thomas getting it doesn't really quite get the line correct there. He's going to be under a lot of pressure from Aero Racing Design heading into La Source. Is he going to be able to make anything happen? Down to the inside looks Aero Racing Design, and no, nothing for now. However, that was a very close move there, and it looks like everybody just kind of filing themselves out for now. Tiger NASCAR getting around Elma Jacko here, side by side between these two up through Eau Rouge. This is only going to end poorly. Contact made. Around goes Tiger NASCAR. Oh, don't roll back into traffic. Oh, my God. Good God Almighty! I've just witnessed a death. Smith Pell, dead. Tiger NASCAR, probably dead. And a full safety car. That was just so painful in every level to watch. Oh, God. That was... Can we look at Super and just see that... Oh, Super's going to run into these guys as well. Hopefully not. Look at the carnage. Oh, and the cars just magically disappear in front of him. Wow, and it all started with that move between Elma Jacko and Tiger NASCAR going up the hill. You can't always take that corner side by side. And unfortunately, there's just absolutely nothing that Smith Pell could have done. Tiger NASCAR rolled across the track, which I don't know if he threw it into reverse or the car just naturally rolled. I couldn't quite tell. But Smith Pell has hit this side pod at about 200 miles per hour and went along with it. Gracious goodness, that was... Gee, if we were looking at actual F-Court, as Dace... interesting here. Scornsey comes in, Dace comes in, Ryan Rods comes in, as well as Jacko and Edgar. And also Edwin. So remember how I said that we wouldn't really expect many drivers to take the hard tires? Well, your boy was wrong. Everybody's going to be taking the hard tires here. This is just unprecedented, is what it is. You wouldn't... I'd never do expect to see this type of thing. And it's happening. Many drivers on the hard tires already. Scornsey comes in for the hards. Dace comes in for the hards. Jacko comes in for the hards. Everyone else, though, Ryan Rods, Edgar, Edwin, and Super all come in for mediums. This is kind of what I was talking about here. Will the drivers be able to stretch the medium tires that far? It's going to be 19 laps. The mediums are only really supposed to last about 15. That's interesting. Not to mention that the guys on the hards of Scornsey, Dace, and then Jacko, those guys are going to be at a disadvantage in the early goings here. It's going to be well until the softs finally decide to come in that they're going to be at a disadvantage. It's going to be another, 7-8 laps potentially. So the safety car is coming in this lap. I tell you what, it's going to be a real crapshoot on tires here. You have drivers like Will Ans, who's on fresh 3-lap-old medium tires. Everyone ahead of you is on the softs. However, even at this track, when the window is only 8 laps as it is, that 3 laps means a lot on these soft compound drivers at the moment. Text-to-speech will be leading them back to green here. EDA T-Rose in second. Reminder, he does have the fastest lap all time at this track. It's going to be interesting to see what happens as they lead the field to green here. Meanwhile, Mitch Burns up there third. Green flag back in the air, and it looks like text-to-speech has really left the rest of the grid in the dust as they head down into La Source. No sort of unbelievable move at the moment, it seems. Everybody making it through cleanly. But only for now, I'd say, as the field winds up the hill through Radillon, through Eau Rouge, whatever you want to call it, whatever the word is. T-Rose right onto the diffuser of text-to-speech here, goes to the left, back into the slipstream, back to the left again. It's going to be side by side into Lacombe here. Is he going to be able to make anything happen? That camera angle sucks. No, he doesn't. Text-to-speech has the advantage for now. It looks like Yolmir getting around Nicky 64 back there. Scornsey down to the right side. He's going to get past him as well. The Ferrari team in close quarters here. Down to the inside goes Dace. Nicky 64 letting him go past, as well as Ryan Rods as well, and potentially as well as the Haas of GSR Edgar. All sorts of conundrums there for Nicky 64. I wonder if he made somewhat of a mistake or just what it was, as I'm not quite sure. Text-to-speech trying to T-Rose trying to reel in the Red Bull of text-to-speech here. Going to be another 4 laps or so until the pit window unfolds for the drivers on the soft compounds. Here we have the 2 Aston Martins, Will Lands and Impossible Bacon. They're currently P3 in constructors at the moment. Not bad at all. This team has been working together very well all season, and assuming it's going to stay like that as well. As we look here, look around for the interval. Aero Racing Design, he's trying to reel in Cake Thomas, trying to get to the diffuser of the Red Bull ahead of him. doesn't seem to be taking place at the moment. It looks like back there, GSR Edgar actually about to get around Nikki 64. This is the Haas of GSR Edgar to the diffuser of Nikki to the left side now, down into the chicane. Is he going to be able to make anything happen? It doesn't appear that he will for now, as text-to-speech sets the fast lap at 1:46.1. Not bad whatsoever. It looks like for now everything has calmed down aside from, it looks like Ryan Rod's trying to get around Dace here. Dace and Scornsey, two of the drivers on the hards who pit under the last pit window. Impossible Bacon following his teammate of Will Ans up the hill. Will Ans, big oversteer just then, and Will Ans is going to get out of the way of Bacon here. You can see Will Ans, that's got to be one of the saves of the season right there, realistically. That was gnarly. Let's see if anybody's got anything up here, any mistakes to be made. No, everybody holds on to it well. Looks like at the moment, though, T-Rose just simply getting better acceleration out of Radion there. Looking to the left side, potentially, is T-Rose. Round the side he goes. Is he going to be able to keep the spot as they head into the chicane? And he does. Nicely performed there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Speaking of Alfa Romeos, it looks like Yolmir has gotten around that of EDA Murfancelli. Murfancelli, by the way, under pressure from Scornsey here. Now, what is Scornsey going to be able to do on these hard tires? He's got that of Murfancelli ahead of him. He's actually going to go around the outside, heading into Brussels. Going to take the long way around, potentially. Murfancelli going to strike back as they head towards No Name, and it's not sorted just yet, but eventually Scornsey does get the better spot there. Nicely done just then from Scornsey. That was quite neat, that move was. Murfancelli, no! Is he going to save it? And he does! God almighty, what a save that was. And now it looks like text-to-speech. Something has happened with him, and he's lost it. Text-to-speech has gone around. And the safety car is out. Will Ans has the lead of the Grand Prix. Temporarily it will be, considering his tires, those 8-lap-old mediums. He's got Ryan Runs in behind the 5-lap-old mediums. Edgar in behind him, 5-lap-old mediums. Murfancelli behind him, 8-lap-old mediums. T-Rose currently up the furthest on the grid with the fresh tires of the medium tires, which he just pit for, coming to the green flag this time. So Will Ans is going to lead the Grand Prix to the start here. The driver to watch, certainly, I believe, is going to be T-Rose, who's, I would say Murfancelli is going to be letting him by any minute now. GSR Ryan Rods is heavily going to challenge for the lead here, that much I will say. To green flag we go, and it looks like, for the time being, the Haas, nope, that is Murfancelli, down to the inside. Whoa, and he's really missed his braking zone there, hits the wall, keeps his car alive, but he's almost just completely done in the rest of the grid there, keeps the car alive, although missing the front wing, and that was an interesting one there, maybe where the brake's just not up to temperature, I'm not sure. Will Ans, is he going to defend Ryan Rods here? No, he is not. Edgar very close behind, though, and he's got T-Rose breathing down his neck as well. Aero Racing Design getting past Nikki 64 there. It looks like, though, Will Ans, he's not going to give up here. He's holding on quite nicely to the Mercedes of Ryan Rods here so far. Nikki 64, oh, a 3-second penalty for him for exceeding track limits, and it looks like Impossible Bacon has just gotten around in there. Murfancelli back down again. Yolmir across the curb getting into the Ferrari of Nikki 64 there. He's got Scornsey in hot pursuit. This is going to be an overtake to watch here shortly. Scornsey's going to look to the left. Nikki 64 oversteer coming off a no-name corner down into Puhan. Is he going to be able to make the move? And he does. That drops Nikki back to 12th. Dace is going to move up to 12th now, actually. Jacko, is he going to move up into 13th? And I believe he eventually does. Nikki 64 losing quite a handful of positions there, all in the span of a few corners. Looks like for the time being, Kate Thomas looking to work on Mitch Burns here. He's got GSR Edwin in front of him. My goodness, that's annoying. Both Ferraris now with 3-second time penalties, and I believe he's picked that up exiting Stavelot, which he has. I feel bad for Murfancelli, but down to the inside goes Mitch Burns on GSR Edwin. Can he keep it? And can he keep it cleanly? For now he does, although is that going to open the door for Kate Thomas? Nearly, very nearly it does. Towards the front, it looks like Will Ans trying to defend the inside. And it looks like Edgar, the Haas, got really wide. Will Ans got in front of T-Rose there, and Edgar's going to take second spot. Will Ans only loses the one. Very, very close quarters here between everybody battling for this second spot. Will Ans had the inside of the corner. Edgar had the outside. T-Rose tried to dive down to the inside. Will Ans blocked the inside, maybe got a slow launch off the corner, and that prevented T-Rose from taking the spot. Man, oh man, this one is close. Edgar's got the position for now. Will Ann's trying to hunt him down. Oh, God, Jesus. I thought T-Rose had just binned the car there, but it was my internet only. Edwin now picking up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Down to the inside goes Aero Racing Design on Mitch Burns, and he's just done that. That was brilliant. I didn't quite catch on to that move, but goodness gracious, that looked a good one there for the Williams driver, who is now up to P6. T-Rose now trying to trying to get to the gearbox of Will Ann's here potentially as they head towards Sector 3. Doesn't look like he has anything for him for now. Kate Thomas in this 4-5 rest of the field battle for P5 at the moment. Aero Racing Design looking to get around Edwin. Now Edwin does have the 3-second penalty, but that doesn't mean he's going to give it up that easy, now does it? Aero Racing Design, can he find a move? He's going to go to the left side as they head through Blanchimont here. Is it going to be any sort of wheel-to-wheel contact? That happened in F2 a couple times with myself included, and it all gets sorted out. Mitch Burns now to the left side. Aero Racing Design is going to block off that outside lane and protect Mitch Burns there from getting any sort of unnecessary advantage. And it looks like, did Kate Thomas just run into the rear wheel of the McLaren? Carbon fiber went someplace, and it looks like, oh, has Scornsey fallen off? And he has as well. Has Scornsey lost a bit of a front wing? And he has. No, and the championship leader missing part of his front wing, and he's going to let a lot of the field go by. DRS has been enabled. Lots of drama here so far. T-Rose, can he finally make it past Will Ann's? And he will. It's going to take him a minute, but he eventually does. Behind him, it looks like Aero Racing Design already got past Mitch Burns. Looks like Kate Thomas, is he going to have anything for Edwin here? And he doesn't. For now, everything seems, all the dust seems to have settled, but only temporarily. It's going to be 10 laps to go this time by. It looks like Yolmir being overtaken by Jacko here. Text-to-speech in behind. Yolmir's not necessarily had himself the best race, that part is for sure. If we go to the detail on penalties, yep, so they're all at 3 seconds. Text-to-speech to the inside, Super to the inside. Oh, side-by-side here. Impossible Bacon and Kate Thomas were side-by-side to take the position, and it looks like there's nothing in it now. Impossible Bacon has it. This is going to open the door for Dace, mind you, as Murfinselli picks up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Dace is just going to watch this battle unfold, and hopefully one of them make a mistake enough for him to be able to overtake. Doesn't look like it's going to happen yet, although he might have a chance later on. We're going to go back up through the grid now. Maybe not. Dace is right here. He's going to look to the rear wheel of Kate Thomas, and he's going to take one around the outside. Can he get to the inside of Impossible Bacon? He at least got Kate Thomas. That was a nicely done move there. And it looks like Aero Racing Design getting around Will Ann's before they head into La Source. Very late break there by Mitch Burns. Way overshoots the corner. It's 3 wide coming out of La Source. Somehow Mitch Burns didn't cause a catastrophic incident there, as he really overshot the corner on Aero Racing Design. Was able to at least make one spot over Will Ann's, but goodness gracious, he nearly took out all 3 of them. Into the DRS now. T-Rose and Edgar swapping positions. That's for second. Mitch Burns getting around him now, and it looks like, yeah, T-Rose did make the move happen. Aero Racing Design. No, this is Will Ann's and Mitch Burns side by side now. And no, Mitch Burns has gone around. Contact with Will Ann's going into the chicane, and yikes, that's not what you wanted to see now, is it? Going into turn 5, all was very clean at the moment. It looks like, however, Kate Thomas and Dace now side by side. So much action here unfolding in Division 1. Side by side as they go through Puhan. This was Kate Thomas and Impossible Bacon a lap ago. It looks like for now Dace is going to have it. It does exceed track limits just then, but no penalty to be had yet for the second time. Aero Racing Design hunting down Will Ann's. Will Ann's spins it. What a move by Aero Racing Design to avoid it. Will Ann's spins it. Don't back into traffic, Big Will. No, and he doesn't for now. He's going to have to 25-point turn his way back around. And he does eventually. Nothing to be had just yet between these two at the top of the grid. Text-to-speech, can he hunt down Edwin? Kate Thomas, can he make the move on Jacko? Very close quarters here between these 4. 3 abreast into the corner. It is. Contact made. Jacko in the air. And he's gone off. Kate Thomas off as well, but Jacko off. Kate Thomas went off. Nicky's going to get a position. Yikes. That I mean, I don't know who was at fault for that. 3 wide into that corner is just simply not going to happen. And they tried it, and it didn't. Is anything going to happen here? DRS open on the Alfa Romeo. Can he find his way around the Mercedes? He's going to look around the left side, and that, I don't want to say no contest there from Ryan Rods, but very easy when your tires are 5 laps older than the car behind you trying to overtake you. A Super, I think he just got around Edwin just now. That looked a good move. Towards the back, Murphy getting around Cake Thomas. And I tell you what, Scornsey and Majacco, I mean, that wasn't necessarily a good race for, this isn't being a good race for Scornsey here. Really gonna open it up at the front for the constructors, for the driver's standings. My words just aren't working. Meanwhile, Impossible Bacon, can he get to the gearbox of Dace? Oh, who's gone around there? That looks like Cake Thomas. He's spun it around on his own. That's very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. I'm sorry, I want to kind of... Oh, Mitch Burns, is he going to get around Nicky here? Really getting close. He's got Aero Racing Design in behind. 3-car battle here for the 9th spot. Aero Racing Design down to the inside. DRS open for the both of them. Side by side into the corner. Contact being made potentially. Mitch Burns down to the inside on Nicky 64. And look at that. Is he going to have the position? No, he's not. Good battle this is, though, for P9. 3 cars here, all within close quarters of each other, heading up the hill. Finally going to file each other into formation here. Aero Racing Design, however, Nicky 64, wow, almost contact there, maybe potentially. Mitch Burns is going to get 1. Can he find the inside for 2? And he chooses not to at the moment. However, I don't know what happened there with Nicky, but he nearly lost the car. But it looks like for the time being, this is the battle to watch for the 3rd position. 4 cars. Realistically 3, but 4 cars all in potential contention for this spot here. Dace, can he find a move around Edgar? Can Impossible Bacon find a move around both of them? Dace goes to the inside. Now Impossible Bacon to the inside. Contact being made. Bacon holds on to the car somehow. But no. Oh, God, that was almost painful on every level. Dace getting around him. Hunting down Edgar. Can he find a move? DRS is open. Edgar has DRS as well. Text-to-speech. He's looking for it as well. Impossible Bacon down to the inside. Into turn 5. Is he going to make it happen? And he does. Impossible Bacon. That might be the move to put him on podium. Edgar went to the left rear tire of Impossible Bacon. Contact was made. Nobody had spun around or anything, but geez, that got close. Text-to-speech. Can he find a move around Edgar now? This is for the 4th spot. Dace is only a 2.5 seconds ahead of Impossible Bacon. He's most likely going to lose that spot. Can Text-to-Speech find a move around Edgar to put himself into P5? Probably higher than that, actually. Meanwhile, EDA T-Rose at the front of the grid. He played the safety cars, he played the strategy all correctly. He kept himself out of trouble, more importantly. And as he rounds the final couple corners now, it's a huge day for EDA T-Rose, who comes across the line in first to win the Belgian Grand Prix. But it's an even bigger day for GSR Ryan Rods, who now takes the lead of the championship. As Text-to-Speech, is he going to get around Edgar in the final corner? Contact is made, and he does. Impossible Bacon's going to get 3rd. Text-to-Speech gets 6th. Edgar, well, that was...